Vaccines have been a very controversial topic for a long time, and especially since COVID, people have really been thinking about them. While I do acknowledge that vaccines have caused some harm, a very minimal amount, they have done a lot more good. The beneficial effects of vaccines far outweigh any potential risks. Lots of people today have been apprehensive when it comes to getting vaccinated, but that shouldn't be the case. For about 170 years, vaccines have been extremely beneficial in preserving life. We're going to discuss some interesting history about how vaccines have helped in the past and how they continue to save millions of lives today. Statistics show that vaccines are one of, if not the most influential and life-saving medical innovation. Vaccines have been around for a long time. An article by Lindsay Chivensky talks about how vaccine requirements in the US go all the way back to our first president, George Washington, and the Continental Army. During the American Revolution, smallpox was posing a huge threat to the troops, even more than the opposing British forces. So President Washington, he realized that the mortality rate from smallpox was about 30%. So he took measures to protect the troops by having them all inoculated. It was an early form of vaccination. The first vaccine, as we know it today, was developed by Edward Jenner. It was made to prevent smallpox, and Jenner's vaccine, once it caught on, it started being used all around the world as the main way to prevent smallpox. Statistics in an article by WeForm show that this vaccine, once it was mandated in England in 1857, death due to smallpox went down 93%. And this was just from the first vaccine with only the technology that was available in the 1850s. So from the outset, vaccines have been very successful. Let's discuss some more current vaccine success stories. By 1980, the world was smallpox free. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention released an article that talked about 14 diseases we don't have to worry about anymore today because of vaccines. Some of the ones they included were polio, tetanus, rubella, Hib, measles, pneumococcal diseases, mumps, rotavirus, and diphtheria. A lot of these names we don't even recognize because today we're protected from them because of vaccines. How many lives do vaccines actually save? The numbers are pretty shocking. In a study that was funded by Oxford and Johns Hopkins University, it's predicted that 97 million deaths are averted due to vaccination activities between the years 2000 and 2030. But vaccines only work if people get vaccinated. And in recent times, there's been a lot of pushback, especially with the COVID-19 vaccine. Some people are apprehensive because of distrust in the government. Others are concerned about the potential health effects that come with getting vaccinated. And still others are just don't want to be told what to do. But it's crucial to understand some important data figures. When doing research on the CDC website, I learned that healthcare providers are required by the FDA to report deaths that occur after a person was COVID-19 vaccinated, even if it's unclear if the vaccine was the cause of death. So once these deaths are reported, the CDC does more research into the cause of death, and according to the CDC, 9 deaths have been conclusively linked to the vaccine. While 9 deaths were tragically lost after the vaccine, it's estimated that 20 million were saved in just the first year after vaccines were rolled out. And that statistic is according to the Center for Infectious Disease and Research policy. It might help to think about it like this. Airbags are installed in cars to save lives. While it's possible that airbags could kill you, it's extremely unlikely. Airbags are known as lifesavers, not as killers. When you think about this with vaccines, they're pretty similar. So in conclusion, life is precious, not just your own life, but the lives of others as well. And it's been shown time and time again since the 1850s, vaccines have saved countless lives. They have brought more positive than negative. Vaccines aren't something we should be scared of, rather something we should be thankful for. There is a danger in getting vaccinated, but vaccines are not dangerous.